Polk County poultry enthusiast. I'm Jordan Haggard, I'm the poultry superintendent. We are going to do a video today on how to wash your bird. We are not going to go through every single step. This is basically just a general guideline of the supplies that you might be able to use while you're cleaning your bird. The most important thing is that you bring a clean, healthy bird to fair. Getting that bird clean is going to be the most important thing you can do in preparing that bird. Yes, we're going to go over some different things you can use that'll maybe shine the feathers just a little bit, but a clean bird is going to be a shiny, healthy bird. So the first thing, again, having the clean bird is important. So there's different things that you can use. Dish soap is generally safe to use on animals. In addition, a lot of show people do use Dove. So either one of these soaps will work fine as long as they get your bird clean. Today, I'm actually going to use the dish soap. An additional thing you can do is if you have a white bird, there's a chemical out there called bluing. It's used in doing laundry. This bluing, when used in a small amount for a brief time, can brighten whites. But if you use too much for too long, it will turn your bird purplish blue. So it's not something we advise using unless you've used it before. One of the last steps you can do is you can add either plain white vinegar or a glycerin mixture to your last rinse. That will help give the bird a nice shine. If you do too much of this, it's going to make the bird look oily. So it's something you just want to use a little bit. But again, getting that bird clean is important. We are also going to use the white vinegar today in our demonstration. A great tool to have when you're cleaning a bird is a toothbrush. It's wonderful so that you can actually scrub the bird's feet and around the face. You don't want to reuse the toothbrush once you've used it on the bird. It's basically for the bird only at that point. You also want to have plenty of clean towels to dry your bird. We are going to go through some of the details with that. A blow dryer or other animal safe dryer is a wonderful tool to have. The trick is going to be not to chill your bird and not to overheat your bird. We're not going to use too cold of water and we're not going to use too hot of a dryer. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of our bird through all of this. Well guys, I'm excited to show you our steps, so let's get started.
This one is too big. This one is too small. This one is just right.
It's very important to get your work area set up in advance. You are going to want a tote for each step in the process. We have 3 totes for today's video. Our first tote is for washing, our second tote is for rinsing, and our third tote is for our vinegar rinse. The water inside these totes is lukewarm. Instead of hauling lots and lots of buckets from inside, you can fill up your totes and set them in the sun for a couple hours. That'll give you a nice lukewarm water at no additional cost. Our volunteer today is a light Brahma hen. This is a bird that has not been in a conditioning cage. She's been in a breeding pen, so she's in pretty rough condition. She has discolored feathers from dirt. Her nails are long. Before we actually submerge her in the bath, we're going to go ahead and trim her nails up. Just like a cat or a dog, you'll be able to see the vein. You want to trim the clear area. So just make sure those nails are nice and trimmed. We've got our toothbrush ready to go so we can get those feathered feet clean. Be prepared to get a little wet. You want your tote deep enough that you can really get this bird wet and submerged. The first step is going to be to let that bird soak. Just get all the feathers wet. It's great to use a little cup and just start letting the bird soak and loosen up some of that dirt. When you're washing the bird, don't make circular motions. That can actually damage the feathers. It's best to just run the soap down the length of the feathers, kind of smooth it out. Make sure you do get under the feathers to the bird's skin. Once you and any other volunteers have taken some time to wash the bird, it's time to rinse it. So basically, you're just going to take the bird into the next bath of clean water. At this point, when it's time to rinse the bird, you're just going to gently rinse this nice warm water over the feathers. You may have to repeat this process if your bird was exceptionally dirty. Again, you don't want to rub the feathers too much so that you don't cause any damage. Now you're going to take your totally rinsed bird and put her into the vinegar bath. It's easiest to just take a cup, gently pour the vinegar rinse over the top of the bird, getting her feathers. You will probably be very wet at this point as well. We will then take the bird out of the bath, and it's time to start our drying process. When you take the bird out of your vinegar bath, it's okay to let the bird drip dry just a little bit. You can use gentle pressure to wring some of the extra water out from the bird's feathers. Make sure you've got a towel ready so you can gently wrap the bird in a towel. While we are going to towel dry this bird some, we are not going to do a back and forward motion. We are basically just going to apply some gentle pressure in the direction that the feathers go to get the loose water out of the feathers. It's important when you're blow drying your bird to make sure that you don't get too hot or too cold. When using an auxiliary heat source, it's good to keep it in motion so you don't burn the bird. And the results are in. Here is our clean bird versus a comparable dirty bird. Our clean bird could be a little bit cleaner in her chest. We could have done a little bit more work to get that whitened up a little bit. But overall, this bird has a better shine to it. A lot of the dirt is gone. Now, blow drying has damaged some of the feathers. So this bird is going to need a couple days of preening, where she's basically going to groom herself and get those feathers all tied back together. It's always something you want to wash your bird for the last time, 2 to 3 days before the fair, to give him time to do that natural process. Thank you.
You look fabulous, darling.